Endelea kutazama Capuchin TV, kitambulisho Katoliki.
Good evening and welcome to the Catholic Focus Bulletin. I'm Sasha Elizabeth with sign language interpretation by Eric Maluki. Now on this bulletin this hour, tragedy in Kwale as a chartered plane crashes moments after takeoff, leaving several feared dead. The Ministry of Health launches a nationwide crackdown on uninspected meat ahead of the festive season. And in Muranga, the judiciary embraces virtual court sessions to ease congestion in prisons. We will also tell you why governance expert Professor PLO Lumumba is warning Kenya against the return of tribal politics, and students in Busia and Kakamega take to the streets demanding fairness and better management in their colleges. Let's start off in Muranga County, where with congestion in correlational facilities across the county on the rise, the judiciary has rolled out a digital reform initiative to enhance efficiency and improve access to justice through virtual court sessions. The initiative, which includes the donation of computers and laptops to Maranju Prison, is part of a wider effort to ease backlogs, reduce transportation challenges, and ease timely hearings for inmates. Maureen Kimani reports.
Speaking during the donation of computers and laptops to Maranjoi Prison in Lower Maragua, Muranga High Court, presiding judge, Lady Justice Cecilia Githua, said the initiative will revolutionize court proceedings by minimizing delays and ensuring justice is delivered promptly.
Some people, especially those that have committed minor offenses or petty offenses that do not affect or does not have any security ramifications, can be diverted out of the court system, because that will also mean that the court system will not be clamped down or clogged with too many cases that would have been otherwise dealt with outside the courts. And that will also help us in our efforts to make sure that the prison facilities are only inhabited by hardcore criminals that really need that kind of rehabilitation within prisons.
The new ICT equipment will enable Maranjoi Prison to host virtual court hearings, allowing cases to proceed without the frequent adjournments that often arise due to difficulties in transporting inmates to Kenya law courts.
This initiative of digitizing or affording the means of technology to prisons, especially Maranjao Prison, would really help in the fast tracking of cases, because then the inmates would be able to conduct their cases, those that are suitable for virtual hearings, to conduct their cases from here, which means that they will not need to be transported to the physical court, which is very far from here, also given the state of the road. And it will be possible for hearings to take off on scheduled dates.
The Law Society of Kenya Muranga chapter welcomed the move, pledging to partner with the judiciary by providing legal aid services to inmates and remandees participating in the virtual sessions.
We've donated what we call a MiFi so that they can improve their virtual court session attendance with the Kenya law courts. We've also been attending to our clients, that is the remandees who are remanded at Maranjao prison, by offering legal aid services, which is even part of what we'll be doing. From the next week, the 27th to the 31st, we have what we call a legal awareness, where we'll be offering our legal aid services. And the remandees and the prisoners are some of the people who will benefit from that kind of arrangement.
There are a lot of reforms that are going on in the Kenya Prison Service. There are a lot of legal and policy reforms that are ongoing. And apart from that, we're also trying to digitalize our services as a Kenya Prison Service. But this we cannot achieve as a department without the support of other players. So my appeal will just be to the members of the public and well-wishers that they need to come out to support our efforts. Even when it comes to rehabilitation activities, are quite expensive.
In related development, 106 inmates were released from Maranjao prison as part of the government's broader effort to decongest correctional facilities and promote access to justice across the country. Reporting for Catholic Focus, Maureen Kimani.
And as reforms in Murang'a seek to strengthen justice and fairness, national leaders are now being urged to uphold unity, as PLO Lumumba is cautioning that no reform can thrive in a nation that is divided ethnically. Now, governance expert and legal scholar Professor PLO Lumumba has warned that Kenya is treading on a dangerous ground as tribal politics and ethnic rhetoric continue to rise ahead of the next general election. Speaking at the 3rd African Youth Leadership Forum, the former anti-corruption chief urged young people to reject political manipulation and take charge of the country's future. Let's get the story from our very own Anthony Simiu.
At Mount Kenya University, young leaders from across Africa gathered for the 3rd African Youth Leadership Forum, a space to reflect on governance, leadership, and the future of the continent. But even amid the optimism, Professor Lumumba had a stern warning that Kenya is once again slipping into the trap of tribal politics.
Unfortunately, we live in a country called Kenya, where everything we look at is from a tribal prism. You go to universities in Kenya, some universities, and students organize themselves around tribe. In the 21st century, they have organizations for Kikuyus, for Luos, for Kambas, for Kisis, for Merus, for Embus, for Pokomos in the 21st century.
The renowned legal scholar said the recent rise in ethnic-based rhetoric and political polarization, barely 2 years to the next general election, is a dangerous signal for a nation still hostage to identity politics. He urged young people to reject manipulation by politicians and instead push for accountability, transparency, and transformative leadership.
Na utumwa huo unaonekana hata hivi sasa. Kuna watu ambao wanatunyoa Afrika, wanatunyoa kavu, na mnawashabikia kwa misingi ya kikabila. Mwaka wa 2007 2027 tunaelekea uchaguzini. Ukisoma gazeti za Kenya utafikiria uchaguzi ni wiki kesho. Na watu wananoana kwa misingi ya kikabila. Naomba mkemee ushenzi huo. Naomba msikubali kwa kuwa msipoikemea huenda tukaathiriwa pakubwa.
Lumumba insisted that Kenya's politics must shift from tribalism and head to focus on development and nation building, a message that resonated deeply among the young leaders.
Pray and hope that this assembly of young men and women here present will not allow themselves to be enticed by the spirit of ethnicity as the basis of making judgments. African problems are not going to be solved by holding conferences and meetings, no. Perhaps we are holding too many meetings. Perhaps we are holding too many symposia. Perhaps the time now is to hold symposia, workshops, and seminars only to evaluate what we have achieved in agriculture, what we have achieved in medicine, what we have achieved in artificial intelligence. Perhaps the time is now. Je, tutakuwa katika mstari wa mbele ili Waafrika wasidhulumiwe tena na kuteswa tena na kudharauliwa tena na kunyanyaswa tena na kufadhaishwa tena? Tumedhalalishwa, tumedhulumiwa, tumehangaishwa, na tusipojihadhari tutatoka kwenye kile ambacho tunakiita ukoloni mkongwe, tuwe katika ukoloni mamboleo na tuwe katika utumwa mamboleo. Tumieni kila fursa kukemea ushenzi. Kwa ushenzi ukikita mizizi katika taifa la Kenya, hata mchango ambao mngependa kuitoa mtakuwa wakimbizi. Kumbukeni, mtego wa panya huingia waliomo na wasiokuwemo. Are you prepared to sacrifice?
Participants, among them Leona Jebet and Harrison Njoroge, said the discussion reshaped their perception of leadership, urging greater inclusion of youth in decision-making spaces.
This session has been amazing. Our main topic was building a new Africa for the 21st century, and we are really looking forward to creating solutions since we are Africans and African is our business. So as the youths, we are looking forward to a better Africa, especially in bringing solutions to the problems that we are facing as Africans, and also as the youths wants to get to the space of the leadership. We want to also create solutions and also bring inclusivity where we can also have the youths in the space as well. As the youths, we are looking forward to creating solutions such as once we are given a space to gather together, or we are given even a representation even in parliament or in whatsoever leadership. You see, the youths ni watu wanajituma, and once we get there, we are able to create solutions. Solutions means we brainstorm ideas together towards the problems that we are facing as Africans, and also the problems that we as youths we are facing. So we need the representation since the youths know whatever they are facing on themselves. So
as the country heads into another political cycle, the call from Mount Kenya University is clear that the youth must rise above tribal divisions and take charge of Kenya's destiny.
There is a lot for the youths to do when it comes to the continuity of the Africa. Like, we need to change our mindset and how we think about the African progress. We have to do better than what we are doing. There is that essence that needs to be changed in each and everyone's mindset, especially the youths, because we need to change how we think based on where we are going, because we cannot be thinking of challenges wherever we need to find the solution to those challenges. As a reader, you come with the solution. You don't say that the challenges and the barriers are too many and too heavy. You come with the solution and how to solve those barriers and challenges. Because we have very well-talented people, intellectual people who can do perfect work when given the chance. But now these chances are being wasted because we don't have, such people don't get the platform to utilize those chances. So if we can eliminate that being of you must have a godfather or someone who is holding your hand so that you can get the position in the government or any other company, I think we can overcome all those barriers.
Reporting for Catholic Focus News, I am Anthony Simiu.
PLO's warning comes at a time when calls for national unity continue to reverberate through the country as the nation braces up for a charged political season. Now back to our developing story, where a tragic air crash in Kwale County has claimed several lives after a chartered plane burst into flames shortly after takeoff this morning. Authorities say the aircraft, registered 5YCCA, was heading from Diani to Kichwa Tembo when it went down at Simba area around 5:30 a.m. Kwale County Police Commander Abdullahi Alio confirmed that the plane burst into flames on impact, with rescuers battling intense heat and thick smoke. All 12 people on board are feared dead. Officials from the Kenya Civil Aviation Authority say investigations are underway to determine the cause, citing bad weather or technical failure as possible factors. The crash has sent shockwaves across the country as families await official identification of the victims. KCAA says recovery and investigation teams remain at the scene. Elsewhere, the Ministry of Health has launched a nationwide crackdown on the sale of uninspected meat as the festive season approaches. Public Health Principal Secretary Mary Muthoni has warned Kenyans against consuming meat that has not been verified by health officers, saying the government will not tolerate negligence and corruption among inspectors. David Kiprotich has more.
With the festive season fast approaching, health officials are stepping up surveillance to ensure all meat sold to Kenyans is safe for consumption.
I want to send a warning. Let us not eat uninspected meat during this period. Usiende kwako unakuta kuku inafifia, unasema wacha nichukue hii kabla ikufe. Ilishakufa. Usiende kwako ukakuta ng'ombe iko karibu kuanguka. Unasema iko tu sawa. Wacha tuangalie. Wacha tuonje. Hatutaki hospitali zijae this season.
Public Health Principal Secretary Mary Muthoni says both national and county health officers are conducting joint operations to enforce strict inspection measures in slaughterhouses and butcheries across the country.
As a ministry, we have already put systems in place. Pale kwa port, hakuna mtu anapita kama bag yake haijaangaliwa na port health officers. And the first point of contact at the port inakuanga a port health officer. I know there is a security unit, but the first person who inspects you is the port health officer. Ingine ni digital. Ukitoka tu kwa ndege, unakuta temperature yako imechukuliwa, lakini saa zingine hata ugundui. Hauwezi ukapita hapo kama temperature yako iko juu, because we must guard Kenya.
She warned health officers against taking bribes and compromising standards, saying the ministry will take firm action against those found colluding with traders.
I want to ask all the public health officers, kama kunao hapa, ingieni kazi. Wacha waende wafunge zile butchery zenye zinalete nyama zenye haziko inspected. Because you may not get it from home. Utapata kwa butchery. Na wale butcher ama merchants wenye hizo butcheries, wenye wanapanga kwenda kuchinja punda na kuchinja mnyama ingine this season, tunawaambia tafadhali Wakenya wanataka amani, Wakenya wanataka kuwa safe, Wakenya wanataka kuwa kama wako healthy.
The ministry has also announced plans to introduce graphic warnings on cigarette and nicotine product packages as part of its campaign to discourage tobacco use.
Na pia we have come up with graphic health warnings. Ile mtoto akiangalia anakutana na coffin hapo. Anajua hii kitu ukivuta ujue unaenda Sayuni. Hata we mwenyewe mkubwa ukivuta unajua unaenda mbinguni. Sasa na hatutaki kulose watu wengi. So ningependa tushirikiane kanisa, na ndio maana niko hapa leo ndio tuongee hii maneno. Aswa on a family day.
At the same time, parents have been urged to guide their children and keep them engaged in constructive activities during the long holiday to help prevent drug and substance abuse.
Drugs and substance use ni kitu imetuathiri sana. Aswa wale watu tunakaa kwa kambi, wale watu wanakaa kwa estates, kwa sababu the new nicotine products that are in the market, zile ziko kwa soko sahi, they are products which even hawa watoto wadogo akiangalia anatamani. Zingine zinaitwa pouches. Pouches unachukua, unafungua, unawekelea chini ya ulimi, inayeyuka, we unakuwa maperere tu. Unaona mtoto wako anayumba yumba tu hapo kwa sitting room. Hujamuona na sigara, hujamuona na nini, lakini bado kichwa yake iko nini? Iko high. Ingine ni ile inaitwa electric cigar. Labda nyinyi wengine mmeziona hata kwa supermarket. Electric cigar. Au hitaji kiberiti. Hutawahi pata kiberiti kwa bagi ya huyo mtoto. Hutapata kiberiti kwa bedroom yake. Hutapata kiberiti mahali yoyote. Lakini kitu bado inatoa moshi. Sababu hiyo inachajiwa kwa socket. Na iko na kala mzuri sana. Kwa hivyo hata ukiipata kwa bagi ya shule, wewe ufikiri ni kitu. Anakuambia hii nilipata kwa rafiki yangu. Unamuuliza ni nini, hata yeye akuelezei. Nakwambia we mama acha tu. Anaenda sababu uelewi. Lakini hizo ndizo substance, nicotine products zenye zinatuletea cancer zenye haujui ni za nini, the respiratory infections. Unakuta mtoto ameanza kukohoa vibaya, haujui anakohoa nini. We need to be keen.
The government maintains that the safety of what Kenyans consume remains a top priority and warns that the festive celebrations should not come at the expense of public health. Kiprotich David for Catholic Focus, Capuchin TV.
Well, it is good to be vigilant and avoid falling onto traps of cheap uninspected meat, as these could come at a very costly price of your health. So stay vigilant even as we prepare to and get into the festive season. Now, away from public health matters, in Kakamega County, tension was high today at Navaholo Technical and Vocational College, where students took to the streets protesting what they call an unfair and last-minute disqualification from the upcoming National TVET Games in Mombasa. They claim they rightfully earned their place and now accuse their own administration of sabotage. Here's the story.
Navaholo Technical and Vocational College students marched to the Navaholo police station, insisting they will not watch from the sidelines while others enjoy what they fought hard to achieve. The students say they finished second in the county qualifiers, securing Kakamega's slot for nationals. Confidence high, bags packed, boots laced, then a shocker.
Tunataka haki yetu. Tunaomba haki yetu kwa sababu tulitoka hapa kuelekea kule shule ya Butere kucheza mashindano ya inter colleges, na tulipofika kule tulicheza by the way na tukapita na tukawa washindi. Tulitoka huko kama namba 2. Nadanganya kweli? Si tulikuwa namba 2. Na ikakuwa ni Navaholo na Sigalagala tunaenda wapi? Tunaenda nationali, si ndio? Lakini imefika siku ya leo ambapo tumejipanga tunaelekea nationals, tunaambiwa barua imekuja ati Navaholo hatuendi wapi? Hatuendi nationali. Enyewe inatuuma sana. Kwa sababu gani sisi hatuendi nationali na tulishinda? Na kama ni barua kuletwa, mbona haikuletwa siku ya kwanza, inaletwa siku ya mwisho yenye tunafanya nini? Tunataka kutravel.
A letter alleged from the Department of Education, which they say arrived at the 11th hour, accused the college of fielding ineligible players, a claim the students strongly deny. They questioned why Bushagala TVC, a team they edged out 2-1 in the semi-finals, is now replacing them at the national stage.
Sisi tumetolewa na mwenye anaenda kwa niaba yetu ni Bushangala. Na hiyo Bushangala tuliwapiga kwa semi-final 2-1, si ndio? Si tuliwapiga
They also wonder how Shaberere Vocational College, eliminated in the group stages, has suddenly reappeared in the second position.
Shaberere walitolewa kwa group stage. Walitolewa kwa group stage kama number 3. Hata ukiangalia kwa fixture yenye imetolewa kwenda nationali, Shaberere hawako kwa fixture. Lakini kwa traveling squad ya kwenda Mombasa, Shaberere inasemekana inaenda na imewekwa hapo kama number 2 na wanaenda kama nani.
The learners have now turned their outrage toward their principal, accusing them of working with unnamed individuals to block their participation.
So sisi tunajiuliza, principal alijuaje kuna barua inakuja Monday na haijakuja? Shongo must go. Tunajiuliza hiyo kitu. Anasema barua inakuja ndo assign. So si inamaanisha kuna mahali alikuwa anaongea na mtu anamwambia barua inakuja.
The students now want the authorities to pause the games until the Navaholo Vocational and Training College arrive in Mombasa and participate in the competitions.
So kivyangu kwanza naweza sema before tufanye kitu yoyote huko nationals, game isiendelee before si tufike huko.
Frustrated and feeling betrayed, they claim their hard-won victory is being snatched away by the very people meant to support them.
Baidha nimekuwa jambo la kuuma roho, la kusikitisha sana tuliposikia kuwa licha ya bidii yote ya wanafunzi kuvumilia njaa, maji chafu, alafu then wanawatoa tu hivyo because of someone mwenye alienda claiming to be our principal, ameenda ameketi huko anakataa kusaini check ati kwa sababu yeye ashajua kitambo wanatuma barua ikuje kwa shule ati hatuendi huko.
The students now vow not to give up until they reach the national stage. Education leaders and the school administration are yet to respond to the allegations. Deborah Mwanya, Capuchin TV, Catholic Focus from Navaholo, Kakamega County.
And just across the border in the neighboring Busia County, tension is also simmering at another technical institution, Mungati Technical and Vocational College in Busia, where students are accusing the administration of poor management and deteriorating learning conditions at the institution. The students, who have now issued a 72-hour ultimatum to education authorities, are demanding the removal of the college principal. Here's Robert Mwangi with that report.
Tension flared at Mungati Technical and Vocational College in Nambale constituency, Busia County, as irate students poured into the streets, chanting slogans and waving placards to express frustration over what they describe as mismanagement at the institution. Led by Juma Matthew, Sheldon Ouma, and Maureen Akinyi, the students accused the administration of neglecting their welfare and presiding over the decline in academic standards.
Kitu ya kwanza ni ya kwamba president wetu kama wanafunzi hajaikaa kwa bodi ya shule, na anafaa kuwa hapo ndiye atuambie kwamba ni nini inaendelea hapo. Pili ni finance, bwana Upio ametukandamiza sana pale shuleni. Hizo tunapoenda tukilipa pesa ya mtihani wanatuambia kwamba ngoja utarudi baadaye. Receipt hawatuandiki, wanafaa tuandikie receipt na yeye atuandiki. Anatufukuza, anatuambia kwamba tuende, lakini sisi tunataka aende.
They cited poor sanitation facilities, dilapidated classrooms, and hostile treatment from some staff members as key concerns undermining their learning environment.
Kila wakati tunaambiwa ya kwamba shule yetu haina pesa. So tumekuwa na maswali mingi, kama shule ni ya government, mbona zingine zinaendelea kugrow na yetu imebaki pale pale? Sasa hizi ni miaka 5, hakuna kitu kimeongezeka, hakuna hata mjengo hata mmoja. Ukiuliza tunaambiwa ya kwamba ni MP anafaa kutufanyia. MP wetu anaambiwa ya kwamba requisition yenye amepata sofa ni hizo 3 peke yake ambazo ameapprove moja.
Choo ni chache, ni 2 kwa wanaume na wasichana, na zote ni chafu, na maji yenyewe kuna maji chafu. Hii ndio maji ambayo iko kwenye college, haifanyiwi treatment, iko tu namna hiyo. So hatuna classes za kutosha pale hiyo college. College ni chafu, kuna nyasi nyingi kabisa, uwanja haijatengenezwa, na material zile za tunafanyia mtihani practical pia hatuletoi kwa muda, na hata hakuna.
The demonstrators demanded the immediate transfer of the college principal and action from the Ministry of Education to the area education office within 72 hours, failing which they vowed to escalate the protests.
Maji ni chafu, uwanja haijafyekwa, tuko msituni. Hiyo inatosha kuambia principal afanye nini? Afanye nini?
The institution has since been closed indefinitely as authorities move to assess the situation and address the grievances.
Tunapatia mpaka Wednesday kwa sababu shule nayo inafaa ifunguliwe with the immediate effect. Inafaa ifunguliwe leo, tunafaa tupata notice ya kwamba shule inafunguliwa. Alafu hizo zingine wafanye nini? Tuendelee kufika Wednesday, wafanye nini? Wakuwa mamaliza hiyo vitu yote na wametuletea kwa meza na tumeelewana. Na kama imeandikwa chini, hatutaki vitu ya kuongea na mdomo.
For now, Mungatsi Technical College remains a scene of frustration and uncertainty, with students insisting they will not return until their voices are heard. Reporting for Capuchin TV Catholic Focus, my name is Robert Mwangi.
Well, the growing unrest in technical and vocational institutions, as well as other institutions of higher learning, highlights the urgent need for administrators to address student grievances before tensions escalate further. And of course, that is a demonstration of a loophole somewhere that needs to be addressed. And that story brings us to the end of Catholic Focus Bulletin this evening. For more updates and detailed stories, visit our digital platforms. You can also follow up on our detailed broadcast later today in the evening. I'm Sasha Elizabeth. Thank you for watching. And on behalf of our sign language interpreter, Eric Maluki, and the entire Catholic Focus news team, we wish you a peaceful evening. Stay informed, stay hopeful, and stay healthy.
Keep watching Capuchin TV, your staunchly Catholic identity channel. You are watching Capuchin TV. For any complaints, comments, or compliments on our programming, you can either write to us on info@capuchintv.co.ke or you can call us directly on 0717 424 866. Your complaint shall be addressed within 7 days. Remember to keep a copy of your communication with us. Keep watching Capuchin TV, your Catholic identity.